Well, this morning we got the fire going right away, and we're going to get after removing that plate and looking for sludge and checking the screen out. Hopefully it'll be just a plug screen. We'll clean that up and put it back together. We're going to try firing her up, I think. Might as well. We're no further than taking covers off, so if we put that back together thinking we solved it, we might as well fire the pony up at least and turn the diesel over, see if we got pressure registering. So we'll get on her. Now that we got everything set up here, lights, camera, action. I got two cameras going here right now, so we'll just see which one does a better job and how the lights are doing. I don't know. Trying to do these little operations here. I could have this thing done 4 times already, but it is what it is if you want to make videos. There's 8 bolts here that I need to take off. They're kind of stiff. I was hoping I'd be able to turn them off by hand, but I don't have enough room to get my impact wrench in here, but try that. Yeah, a little easier. I should have brought a pry bar, a screwdriver, or one of my bars. Hopefully we'll get it off, but hopefully don't drop it on the camera or the light. Can't be that heavy. It's just kind of stuck there and it'll take me by surprise. I know that. I let it drain overnight into that small battery box plastic bucket. I was surprised. I got probably I wouldn't say a liter out of it, but there was quite a bit of oil drained out overnight, which would tend to suggest that there's a lot of sludge in here. But there was no lumps come in. Like, well, I'm going to have to get a pry bar. Well, just about dropped it on the camera. Would have been perfect. Well, I don't see much on that screen there. Here's the underside of that there plate or covering. It's quite a thick area of sludge it might have been enough to sit up there right underneath that screen and plug it off. So we'll check into that. We'll put the thing back together here, and we're not too far along in the teardown here. We'll just put the covers back on it, oil back in, and then start this pony back up and see if we got oil pressure after. This is what we found initially. It's quite thick, you know, like a half-inch thick of sludge there up the one or two corners, and it's frozen, so there's a bit of water involved. It was right against the steel part. I just scraped it off with this little knife here, and I'll wash it all off here real good, clean her up. I think I'm going to pull that screen off as well there, just because there's only 2 bolts, I think, and we will pull that off and clean that right out, and then put it all back together, and then fill her up the well. I think we're going to give her a try. It might be what was the problem, the blockage of the suction. Even though it's not up on the screen, it's the edges of the screen were inside this here sludgy area, so might have been what was causing it. Okay, well, I got this screen off. That's the stuff that was in it. Not really much. It's fairly clean, but over to this corner here, where I can see that's where the main suction is at the pump, right in this here area. See, there's lots of sludge in here too. It's pulled in, like sucked up. So it's been obviously clogged up in most places, and here it was sucking in some oil, but it was plugged up too. It was the only place where it could actually pull some oil. So I'm thinking that's part of my problem anyway, so I'm going to clean this up. I'm not going to try to straighten that, that's for sure. But I'm going to clean it all up, put it back in, and put the oil back in, and we'll fire it up, see what happens, see if we get an improvement on the oil. At that time I'll check on that oil pressure gauge too, make sure it's not like damaged, not even reading pressure. I'm sure it isn't, because I never did see any oil flowing over the tappets very good, just a little trickle. Take a break and warm up our hands there. Not as cold as yesterday, but it doesn't hurt to warm things up. Bolting stuff together like cold steel, yeah, the fingers get a little desensitized. We'll just take a few minutes, warm up a little bit. What we're doing is we're just putting our screen back on the suction pump, but meanwhile I'm going to get in there somehow and turn that little wheel to set the pressure up a little bit at the same time. While we're in there, we might as well do that. Well, that was kind of disappointing. I put all the covers back on, put everything back together, and filled up the oil, started the pony, and turned it over for probably 10 minutes. And still the same result. We got no pressure on the gauge, but I did crack the line off the main gallery down there, and there is oil seeping, like not just seeping, but it's actually coming out. It's pumping somewhat. And it's actually, I took the cover off the tappets again, and there's oil, same as the other day. It's just coming down slowly over the push rods, but it's not under pressure, that's for sure. So we're just out here, we just shut it off, just warming up the hands again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably start it up again, just turn the diesel over with the pony motor to back it up. I'm going to put back the tracks up on some 6x6s or something like that. And then we're going to, I left the stump pan off, but we're going to get in there on that mainspring. It's kind of hard to see, I didn't bring the light out, but the big spring underneath the oil pan. I'm going to undo it and jack up here underneath the hard nose of the radiator. We'll just build ourselves a blocking system. I'll jack it up. The tracks will be up at the back, down ground level at the front. I'll jack the nose up, remove that spring, pull the oil pan, and then we'll have to get into that oil pump. I'm afraid we're gonna have to get right in there and check that out. Maybe it's got a sheared key or something. The oil pump is maybe just driven by friction, you know. Maybe the key has been broke at one time. I know my dad, when he was rebuilding his D4s, he had the problem there. There was a little bit of oil, or a little bit of water in the oil pan. Tried to turn it over in the fall of the year, about this time of year, and unknowing it, like there was a frost plug in the pump, and he sheared the key off the oil pan, or off the oil pump, and then the whole rest is a different story. Had to fix all that up. But at any rate, that's where I'm going with it now. We got oil pump problems. That's all we can do for it for now. We'll just wait for another break in our time schedule. Get back on it. Alright, talk to you later.